Nose rings are among the oldest types of jewelry in the world. While in the West a trend of wearing nose rings is somewhat new, in other parts of the world it dates back thousands of years. Unlike most other types of jewelry, nose rings can be viewed symbolically. They hold varying meanings depending on culture and region. Intrigued? Here's a closer exploration of the symbolism of nose rings around the world. The term nose ring is somewhat misleading because there are many types of nose jewelry, not just rings. There are also many types of nose piercings to choose from, although most people opt for either the nostril or the septum piercing. The practice of piercing dates to around 44,000 years. Archaeological evidence shows that the Aboriginal people of Australia wore nose pieces made of bone through their nasal septums. In fact, the oldest bone jewelry ever found is a kangaroo bone nose piercing that was discovered in Australia. Nose rings as we know them today, however, are believed to have originated in the Middle East. So widespread and significant was the practice that it is even mentioned in the Bible in several instances. For example, in the book of Genesis, Isaac gives his future wife Rebecca a nose ring as a gift. From there, nose rings were introduced to India around the 16th century by Mughal emperors, where it quickly became an integral part of Indian culture. They were seen as a mark of beauty and of social status. It wasn't until the 20th century that nose rings as a form of jewelry came to the Western world. Hippies who visited India in the 60s embraced this practice and brought it back with them to America. Later on, punk and goth communities also adopted the practice. Today, wearing a nose ring has become a mainstream jewelry trend. So why are nose rings so popular, and do they hold a deeper significance? It turns out they do. Like wedding rings, which are highly symbolic pieces of jewelry, nose jewelry also represents various concepts depending on the culture they're viewed within. In some tribes, nose rings portray wealth and social status. A large-sized nose ring means that the wearer is rich and affluent, while a small nose ring infers that the wearer belongs to a lower social class. This belief can be found among the Berber community of North Africa, who wear nose rings to display their wealth. A Berber groom would give his new bride a nose ring as a sign of his affluence, a practice that is still common to this day. In some regions of the world, a nose ring is similar to a wedding ring, symbolizing marriage. Hindu brides typically wear nose rings as a symbol of getting married, as well as to honor the Hindu deity Parvati. In other parts of the world, men gift their brides with nose rings on their wedding day, a practice that may have stemmed from the biblical story of Rebecca being given a nose ring as a symbol of her suitability to marry Isaac. Some communities in the Middle East include nose rings in their dowry alongside cows and goats. In Ayurvedic practices, it's believed that a woman's reproductive organs are connected to her left nostril. According to Ayurvedic practices, wearing a ring on your left nostril boosts fertility, enhances sexual health, increases sexual pleasure, relieves menstrual cramps, and eases childbirth. It's also believed to ease menstrual discomfort and labor pains. In the West, a nose piercing is seen as a fashion accessory and is sometimes worn as an act of rebellion or defiance. It holds little cultural or historical significance when compared to Eastern societies. In Indian communities, for instance, wearing a nose ring is a sacred tradition. Because nose rings were so foreign and uncommon in the West, they were viewed as unattractive and as an act against conservatism. For a long time, wearing a nose ring was stigmatized, and even today, some professional settings may still not allow them. But this is changing, and nose rings are becoming one of the most popular types of piercings. Nowadays, nose rings have become widely accepted thanks to the fashion industry that has revolutionized them. While some types of nose piercings, such as the third eye and the bridge piercing, can still be viewed with judgment, in general, nose rings are seen as a mainstream accessory today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Don't forget to click the notification button as well so that we can let you know when new videos and updates become available. Thank you for watching.